Hi everyone, it's Lauren. I hope that you are all well. I thought I would just do a quick kind of catch-up video with you today because me and Will are about to go, Will and I, oh my god, I'm so sorry, what awful grammar. Will and I are about to go on holiday in a week's time. We are going to the Maldives, which I'm so excited about. We have never done a really big beachy, relaxy holiday before, so this is kind of a big treat for us. And I mean, the weather's looking like it's going to rain a lot, but that's fine. It'll be tropical rain, and I'm sure it'll be very warm and very beautiful nonetheless. So we're going for about 10 days, have a lovely relax, lots of reading to get done. And I toyed with not taking my phone at all on holiday. I think I am going to take it with me, if nothing else, so that I can listen to music and update my Goodreads, because I like to know, just from a record for myself, I like to know when I've read books and when I've finished them. So I will take my phone with me, but I'm going to, apart from Goodreads, have an absolute complete social media break, which again, I'm really excited about. I'm going to take my camera and take some photos and be really old school, like take photos and then show them to everybody when I get home from my holiday, rather than constantly updating my Instagram so everyone's seen what I've done before I even get home. So I'm really looking forward to that. I'm also going to have a bit of a break from shooting YouTube videos, which I think is pretty fair. A lot of people go on holiday in August anyway, so I don't think I'm going to be missing much. I mean, I say that, I'm sure there'll be some brilliant videos that I miss watching, but hopefully, I think it's good sometimes to take a step back from all parts of your life. Obviously, we'll be taking a step back from work, and this, although it is a hobby and I really enjoy doing it, there's also work that goes into producing and uploading, editing videos and all this stuff. So I think it'll be good to take a step back from absolutely everything and just relax and drink. First thing I think of, relax and drink, relax and read and talk to Will and just really power down. So I thought I'd kind of let you know that that's what I'm up to, and also do a TBR video, so what I'm planning to read and what I'm taking with me on holiday. Obviously, I have been very, very ambitious in what I think I'm going to get read. So the physical books I'm going to take with me are quite big ones, quite chunky ones, because I feel like they're quite difficult to read normally if you're commuting, and they're also a lot of non-fiction, because I think it's quite difficult to dip in and out of non-fiction and really get to grips with it. I quite like to have a lot of time to spend on non-fiction. So the first book I have here is a book I've had for ages and I've just fallen out of reading, and that is Apollo's Angels by Jennifer Homans, which is a history of ballet. And I started reading this a long time ago, and I'm about halfway through it. And then I just put it down because I think I was reading this actually before I started a YouTube channel. So I had quite a lot of time at the weekends to just really sit and read. And then I just dropped out of the habit. So I'd quite like to take this with me and properly finish it, because this goes back, this is like an academic book, essentially. It goes really far back to the history of ballet, and the part where I'm at is kind of the modern era with Ballet Russe, and then it goes on to Balanchine and all the stuff that's actually quite interesting. It's a bit of a theme with what I have, I've got to say. The first one here is The Gender Games by Juno Dawson, which I bought quite recently. Juno is a transgender woman, and this is her looking at gender, essentially, from what I understand, because she has lived life presenting as a man and now she is living as a woman, and it's kind of just her thoughts on her life, but also other aspects of gender. I don't think it's a biography in any specific way, and I've heard some really good things from people who've read this already. The next really big one I have is Good As You by Paul Flynn, which is a history of being gay, being a gay man, the history of homosexuality in Britain. So this looks at how far we've come, essentially, or the transition that Britain has gone under from in the last 30 years, so starting in the mid-80s at the height of the AIDS crisis, up to the point now where the age of consent is the same for gay people and gay marriage is legal, and it's quite a big shift in not a very long amount of time, and I imagine probably looking at ways that we still have to improve. And the other big book that I have that I want to take with me, I hope we can fit this all in my suitcase, is Feminist Futures, which was sent to me by Zed Books, which is a non-fiction publisher, and they do some really, really interesting titles. And this is essays from such a wide, diverse range of women from different countries, different backgrounds, different religions, cultures, and it just looked so interesting and so many different ideas and thoughts. So it says on the back here, straddling disciplines and continents, feminist futures interweave scholarship and social activism to explore the evolving position of women in the South. And it's something that I think is really interesting. I can probably dip in and out as I go, like read an essay and then read something else, but it is another very big book, and I'd rather not read this on the train, to be honest. It would be quite difficult to cart around with me. So these are the big physical books that I want to take with me. I mean, that would be ambitious in itself to read all 4 of those, because they're quite chunky, but I've also done quite a big download on my Kindle as well. A couple of books that I have been saving on my Kindle until the point where I was on holiday are Donna Tartt's books. So I have had downloaded on here for ages The Secret History and The Goldfinch, because they are so big, and I really want to have some time to get into them. So I have those 2 on here. I've heard such good things about Donna Tartt's writing. I'm going to start with The Secret History, because that is chronologically became before The Goldfinch, and from what I've heard from people, The Goldfinch is better than The Secret History, but I think a lot of people have different opinions on this. So I would like to just start chronologically and see how I get on with her. And then I've also done a little bit of extra downloading. It's so easy just to download on this and keep going and not think about the money that you're spending. So I was inspired to get a history book because I was watching Jill's channel, The Book Nuke, which I will link below, and she's a historian and she gets a lot of historical books, and it was so interesting watching her recent book haul where she was talking about books that she'd got on Henry VIII and all kinds of things, and I was like, this is really interesting, and I never buy history books, I never read history books. So I downloaded The Romanovs by Simone Sebag Montefiore, I suppose, which I think she actually did show in her book haul, but I've also seen in a lot of bookshop windows recently, and again, it's a very big old book about the history of the Romanov dynasty. I mean, it would be big. I studied the Russian Revolution and everything at school, but I don't know very much about what came before and what Russia was like in all of those preceding centuries. So this will be another a good one to try out. Some of the other interesting books that I've downloaded, some fiction, if I fancy reading that as well, is Men the Living by Mélie de Kerangal, which I have heard so many good things about. I've actually just started reading it today, and so far I'm really enjoying it. This is about a heart, so a boy who dies and his heart is taken for transplant, and it's about all the different people that heart touches, and I've just heard absolutely stunning things about that. I've also downloaded Signs for Lost Children and Bodies of Light by Sarah Moss. Sarah Moss's book, The Tidal Zone, was my I think it was my absolute #1 favourite book that I read last year, and these are some of the previous books that she's read before. The first one in this series is Night Waking, which I read last year, end of last year I think, and these are the 2. I think you can read them in any order, to be fair. I don't think they're real sequels, but it's about the same kind of thing. So I downloaded both of those. So I didn't even count how many that was. Was that 10 books? Was that 12? Something like that. Yeah. Let's see how many I actually read. I'll probably have a good stab at most of them, I should think, because like I said, I will have a lot of time relaxing on my island or hiding in my room if it's raining all week, which it probably will be. I hope you guys are having a lovely summer if you're in the Northern Hemisphere, and a nice winter if you're in the Southern Hemisphere. Let me know what you've been up to, and I'll see you when I get back from my holiday. See you later, bye!